what's going on, boys and girls? We're here with another reaction video. Now, I have no idea how this video is going to be. This is by the same guys I reacted to last time. This is done by LA Ridge Media, and I had a few things to say about their last video. So this one is called Linux. Is it the future? Well, let's find out, according to you guys, if it is the fucking future.
So I think I want to start off this video with briefly talking about what Linux is. You probably...
First off, here's just a small recommendation to maybe your editor, if it's you guys, I don't know. When the transition from your logo to you phase, your music might want to go with it because there's an overlap and it's really annoying to hear as someone's talking. Just a recommendation.
Have an idea of what Linux is, but however, Linux is an open source operating system, and it's different than Windows and OS X because it is open source.
Well, two things. Linux is a kernel used by the GNU tools that actually make it work for the most part. Unless you're Android, then you use your own shit. Second, same thing I mentioned last video. It's not OS X. It's not even OS 10. It's Mac fucking OS. Get it right. If you guys are going to do these videos, at least use your terminology right, because there is big differences, because it makes you sound like a bunch of fucking tools when you don't use the right names and the right sound of things. It just puts people off. It puts people who know what it is off to your videos. Even if you're looking for the average consumer, it still puts people off because it's wrong. So it makes me question whether or not you know what the hell you're talking about.
Source, meaning that anyone can essentially take the source code and make their own version of the operating system. And a version of the operating system is known as a distribution. Every version of Linux, every distribution has its own quirks, has pros, cons, etc. However, to try to simplify this video, just know, essentially, that Ubuntu is one of the more popular versions of Linux. It has a lot of developers backing it that work on the software, that work on compatibility, so you have a higher probability of getting Ubuntu to work on any hardware compared to a lot of other different versions of Linux. And that is also prefacing that you are not as tech inclined potentially, so you might not know much about Linux and don't want to finick around with it much. You just kind of want it to work.
If you're going where I think you're going to be going with this, I'm going to have a lot to say to you about it, and it's not going to be nice, and it's not going to be pretty.
Ubuntu is probably the way to go in that. So with all that said, on Linux, on Ubuntu, you have a very viable web browser, office software, video and photo editor, and arguably an ability to get a decent gaming experience. And I'm not trying to say this is going to be your next gaming machine on Linux, but
Try telling that to the gaming machine that I do all my editing on and doing this through OBS on. Just saying.
It's in the right direction, and also for the average consumer that might not be playing many games, it might be applicable for you.
And just as a fucking side note, there's what, 3,000 games available for Linux now via Steam, not counting GOG and various other like itch and other places. And that's not counting the new Steam Play, which according to the Steam Play compatibility list, there's like 2,500 other games on top of that. So it's like $6,000 in games. Fuck off. You can game on Linux.
However, there is a bigger problem here, because I think I'm proving that for the average consumer, Linux, Ubuntu, on the software level, is a very valid solution in terms of the user experience, as long as you already have it installed.
Finish your point.
So that comes to the overall problem with Linux right now. If you want Linux, you can download it on off of a computer, but you have to install it on your own piece of hardware. I bought this Dell computer and it had Windows on it, which means I had to plug in a flash drive and install Linux on it. And That's not a problem for me. I can most certainly do that. But for the average consumer, it is A, an additional step that they don't want to take. B, people might not just know how to do it. So you have some inherent problems. Additionally, because there's so many computers out there in the world, you might have some support problems and driver problems. You never know. And the only support you're going to have is reading through forums to try to figure out what to do.
These guys,
and that's problematic at best. However, but before we continue discussing this, I do want to take this computer. I want to give this to the editor.
Where do I begin to yell and scream and scream and scream and scream? Driver problems, yada yada. So you are doing a nuke and pave, you dumb motherfucker. You want to talk about the lack of support? Here's a great thing. You bought that Dell that had Windows on it, and you're going to give that to your editor, which I'm assuming you're going to tell to install Ubuntu. I haven't gotten to that far in the video. I'm just making an assumption at the moment. If that's the case, you should not be anywhere near giving tech advice. Here's the problem. The quote-unquote average consumer, you have to treat like a moron. Basically think that 99.9% of people are not technologically inclined. If you tell them to press F2 on the keyboard during boot up, to us, that's common sense. You tell them to shut off secure boot, that's common sense. You have to be the fucking support, you motherfucker. Now, switching that machine, which specifically is meant to run Windows, note the term meant to run Windows, designed for Windows. Yes, you can install Linux on other machines. Yes, you more than likely will work in some way, shape, or form. Here's the problem with what you're doing. That's not what consumers are going to do. You want to talk average consumers, you have to treat average consumers like average consumers. Point them to a place to buy hardware with it installed. Go to Dell's business pages and stuff. They have the XPS machines. They have precision machines. And they actually have a pretty good lineup of machines. Go to System 76, Reason. There are OEMs that sell pre-installed Linux. Take your pick for distro and provide the support. You want to talk average consumers? What you're about to do is not what average consumers do, you dumb motherfucker.
Erica. I want to see if she can install Ubuntu on this with little to no guidance. She might be good with editing, but overall with computers, not so much. So let's try to give this to her and see what she says.
Why do I think this is going to be 15 minutes of my fucking life I will never get back? Just as a side note, basically what I'm saying, it's up to the technologically knowledgeable users to lead the less technologically inclined to the right choice. That's just our role. What these guys are doing fucking ain't that.
Yo, Erica.
What?
I need you for a video.
You need me for a video?
Yeah, so grab your computer and we're going to Studio A, okay?
Okay.
Follow me. So it is the next day. Finally, people are in the office now. I do have our new editor, Erica, here.
Hi.
So you know how to edit. You know how to operate a computer. But besides that, where does your expertise in computers end?
That's to be decided, I guess.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. As you have like fancy code on your computer from what, you're editing CSS files? I don't know what you're
Yeah,
doing.
this is my style sheet.
Okay, so now you're trying to show off to the audience that you might know something about computers, but We'll see if you can actually do this. So here's your task that we have for you today. You're going to be taking this Dell laptop right here and installing Ubuntu on it, which is a form of Linux, which we discussed a tad bit off camera. So I asked you to bring out your computer here though, because you do need to download files and whatnot for Ubuntu. So if you go to Safari, Google Chrome, whatever, and look up, type in Ubuntu, you can go to their website. So that's UBUNTU. Ubuntu Desktop is what we're going to install, 18.04 LTS. Now you have to wait for it to download. Now, however, it's downloading a .iso file, which you don't know what that is.
The only ISO I know is when we're actually filming.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. So what you should do right.
And this is precisely what I mean. What they're doing is not what you should be doing for average consumers. If you want to switch people to Linux, it has to be on a pre-done system. You set it up and you'll let the user figure it out from there. You be the tech support, or you pay a company to be the tech support. It's the same way with Windows. So that's what kind of bothers me about this so far. And believe it or not, it's not the fact that she's using a Mac. I really don't care. There are perks to using a Mac. Final Cut and 4K editing work better on that particular machine. I get it. But what they're doing right now irks me to no end. I wish I could fast forward this.
Right now is do some research, try to figure out how you're going to install an ISO file on a flash drive, which I conveniently lost for you.
Good for you.
I just had it.
Way to go.
Where did the flash drive go?
That sounds more of like a you problem.
Actually, it's a you problem because you're the one that needs it.
I'm not the one making the video.
Well, actually, you are now.
Okay, I'm editing it, but it wasn't my idea.
No. You're the star of the show.
Oh my god, can I fast?
Just so you guys know, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. He's crazy.
Bro, the flash drive is right here.
And
So,
whoa,
in
you're
case you want to
frickin'
get a help,
moron.
your flash drive's ready to work.
That's good to know. And I'm erasing it. But it sounds really stupid, so anyway. Okay, so if my computer says that it erased it, I'm something called Etcher.
Try to like wait for you to.
On.
Sorry, I have to fast forward this. Like, oh
Break
god.
the computer.
Well, I have to go to my applications folder, look at my computer. It's flashing. That's 20. 5 seconds. It's done. To get nowhere. Try this. The wrong button. You don't know how tempting it is to try to go into a Snapchat right now. Going. I should have stayed on. Awesome. Cool.
So what have you gotten?
I ejected it. It is.
Okay. Open up my snaps. Oh, this operating system.
Okay.
So you get to use the arrow keys, go down, and then click enter to install Ubuntu. So now you get to sit here. Let me know when it's actually.
Yep, it works. Okay. To start with, I'm just gonna say it's a normal installation and me who I am, Eric. Ubuntu. The big question we're gonna find.
We're going nothing.
Don't look at me.
There we go.
Awesome.
Ubuntu on the computer. I'm not actually gonna make you like use it for a week or anything like that. You gotta get back to your
Read everything. It's very easy.
which was
If you follow the instructions and you read everything, it's very easy.
conveniently on Ubuntu's website.
Yes.
Okay. How was it in terms of actually the installation of the computer itself?
It went well. Nothing
No problem.
stopped. Nothing.
All right. That's all I need. You can take it.
Okay.
He makes me.
He didn't break my baby.
She installed Ubuntu on this computer. It's all fully functioning. Has to do some more updates, but that's fine. I do have to install OpenCL and my NVIDIA GPU drivers on here, but that's no big deal. So let's look at what Erica had to go through to get this to work. Obviously, as I stated, she had to figure out how to install the .iso file on the flash drive. Took her about 45 minutes to about an hour, but she figured it out with help from like Ubuntu forums. However, the average consumer is not going to spend that time doing that. So what's your other options? You can go to companies and buy a flash drive with Ubuntu already pre-installed. So you can just put it in your computer, install the operating system that you desire. Great. However, that also highlights a bigger problem. You cannot buy any hardware. You know, this is a Dell laptop. You can't buy a Dell laptop these days with the operating system pre-installed.
Oh my fucking God, you prove my point about how moronic you guys are. You have a Dell XPS 13, the Dell Precision, I think it's the 3820 or 3800 or Precision, whatever the hell it is. Those are Ubuntu available machines. Do you guys even do your research? Like, I'm not even going to bother watching the rest of this because it shows to me that you have not done your research at all. System 76, Reason, Dell. There are other companies that support on the enterprise end of machines. They're not going to be the fancy consumer ends. Okay, I'll give you that. But if you're looking at the business end of machines, you're going to find support for Linux because RHEL is a thing. Because developers are a thing. Because, companies tend to need their servers to actually work. So most people who run an Ubuntu server are going to run an Ubuntu desktop. Tit for tat kind of deal. I have 2 minutes almost left of this video. God help me if I don't flip my lip.
And that is what a lot of consumers want. They want to buy a computer, open it up, make their account, and have a working computer. You can't unfortunately really do that in the Linux space. There are some companies, but no big companies, not like Dell, HP, or anything like.
You guys, I swear to God, are fucking morons. Dell, you're holding a Dell XPS Developers Edition, Dell XPS 13 Developers Edition, plus a bunch of other machines. They sell it all in one. They sell a very high-end workstation. They sell the XPS 13. Do you guys research shit? Seriously.
That no one big.
It is your it is your idiot in the video that I'm talking to. Is your job to point them to the right machine, not theirs. Consumers just want stuff given to them and said, "Here it works, go." That is what you, being a technologically inclined person, are supposed to do, which apparently you kind of missed when you went and talked about tech.
In the game sells Ubuntu laptops or Linux laptops. Dell used to.
They still do, you dumb motherfucking moron.
They don't do that anymore. And because there's no hardware manufacturer that mass produces Linux laptops, you also have a problem with customer service. And
I reiterate prior points I've already made. You are a idiot. You guys do not do your research. Point them to a System 76, Reason, or if they want a big OEM, look at Dell. Oh my God, it is a novel idea. Honestly, like, how little research did you guys do? That is really where my question lies. Are you going to have the wide swath of hardware available? No. But does macOS give you that wide swath of available hardware? No. Here's the box. Here's what we sell. That's pretty much it. So what you're toting is a bunch of bullshit. Flat out. And you guys prove where you stand on this by the fact that you don't do research. again, it's your job as technically inclined people to actually point those who are less technologically inclined to the right decision for them, which you are not doing. To me, if anything, you're doing your channel and you guys a disservice by trying to pawn this off as legit tech advice. This is tech idiotic. This is showing just how idiotic you guys really are. And that to me is the biggest thing. You guys have 6.7K in followers. And the fact that you guys have that many followers and subs on YouTube scares the shit out of me. Because that is 6,700 people that take you guys for your word and your advice. That is scary.
Support, or the lack thereof. If you install Linux on this computer, great. But if you have a problem, you're only up to going through forums and Google searching to try to fix your problem. And that means you really have to commit to using Linux. But as of today, as of right
No. Here's the difference. You can pay in cost financially, or you're going to pay in time. There's two different ways. The mentality is no different with Windows. You're going to pay in cost, or you're going to pay in time. You send the machine back, you're paying in time. Probably financially too. If you do it yourself, you're paying in time, but probably not financially. Which one's it going to be? It's no different in Linux. So,
now, Linux, the operating system of like something like Ubuntu, it is ready for, mass production, if you will. Just about. It just needs a little bit more of an ecosystem and a company to fully support it and adopt it and push it out to the average consumer.
as far as you, and I'm not going to slag your editor. Commend her actually for actually putting up with your guys' idiocracy. It's fucking amazing. The short version, the only thing that you need to push out is your head out of your ass. You and the other dude there. Because you guys give very, very bad advice. You are those consultants that give other consultants bad names. And as far as the Dell, I want to say it's either 7000, the Dell Inspiron 7000 or 7000 or whatever. The gaming machine you have right there, because I already know which one that is, essentially. Consumer. If you want consumer, buy people who sell Linux machines. Oh, novel idea. Because you will get support from those companies, even if they're boutique manufacturers, quote unquote. I think, personally, you guys give tech advice and tech consultants bad names. You guys are the type of YouTube channels that I can't fucking stand. And it's not just because of the Linux stuff. It's OS X. It's Mac OS, you dumb motherfucker. There is so much stuff that you guys say and do that is wrong. It's not even funny. I could give two craps about what OS you use. You want to use Windows, Linux, Mac, whatever, FreeBSD, TrueOS, whatever. I don't care. But at the end of the day, you guys give real tech people, enthusiasts, people who love technology, a bad rap. Because you're pointing people in the wrong direction and giving them the wrong mentality of how to look at technology. You have to be open-minded with technology, especially as someone that's supposed to be technologically inclined, which I'm highly doubting you two are, apparently. So, is Linux the future? I think it is. It does have things that it needs to improve on. Sound system being one of them, amongst other issues. But as far as what you guys are talking about for the end consumer to buy a pre-made machine, it's there. Small OEMs, big OEMs. Maybe if you guys got your head out of your ass, you could actually see that light. But I think they're so far impaled up there that you can't see the light. Maybe the shiny little Apple logo, though, you can. And maybe you guys can see that, too.